Mr. Chris Nero.
Yeah, quite a change from the 3rd of July.
Right? Yeah, we've had temperatures into the 90s already, and here we are, 64, 68 today. Global warming. There it is. There it is. So you're the head guy behind the Old Main renovation. Is that correct?
Well, I guess
one of the head honchos. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I'm the physical plant director at DCB, so
Okay.
I'm in charge of keeping the heat on and all the maintenance and all the construction projects. So got a big one going.
Yeah, and before we get into that, you were like born and raised here.
Correct.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
you went away for a little while, but now you're back.
Yep. It was always my goal to come back to Botno. So 25 years in retail, I was ready to come home. Spent all my time, all my vacations trying to get home up to the lake. So
Yeah.
it's good to be back.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's talk about Old Main renovation. You did some stuff in retail, like you said, and this is kind of like right up your alley.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a history buff, so Old Main is kind of special to me. And then the construction end of things, and I went to college at Botno. My grandma and grandpa went there, my
Wow.
uncle, my
Okay.
dad, and
Wow.
then all the kids in my family went. So, and my niece went.
So there's some history there,
Absolutely.
and you want to see Old Main come back.
Yep.
So tell us about the difference, or the differences that between yesterday and today. There's got to be some work going into this.
Oh yeah. So remarkably, this building is in wonderful shape. It's got the fieldstone foundations, and it's just so well built, and like it's built with rocks and mortar, and it's just as good as it was 100 years ago. It's just it blows my mind. But yeah, there's a lot going into it. There was a flood in 2007, I believe, in the basement, and that deteriorated some of the structural walls.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, we had to act kind of quickly, getting that shored up, and now it's not going anywhere. So we kind of divided this project up into a couple phases.
Okay.
So right now we're on phase 1, which is basically to preserve the building from deteriorating.
Okay.
So we did a lot of structural repairs. The fieldstone foundation we talked about, they dug out all the bad mortar and re-tuck pointed everything, and that's quite a job.
Yes. Time consuming, I'll bet.
Oh man, yeah, I
Right,
don't know
yeah.
how they do it. Yep. And then we also dug up the exterior of the foundation. We tuck pointed that as well, sealed it, put a membrane on it, and drain tile to keep the water out. And then down the basement, most of what we're doing is in the basement. So we've got new CMU walls, support walls all throughout, new concrete. So that's kind of the main structural stuff we've done. And then the rest for phase 1 is we have to prep for an elevator, because when this is all done, we're going to have an elevator.
Okay.
That'll accommodate our nursing beds and all that
sure,
stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's a big thing, to work an elevator into a building from 1907.
Yeah.
We're getting all the utilities in the basement, the water, electrical, steam pipes, and data, all that stuff. Lots of coordination with the city.
Sure.
We demoed all the floors to prep for phase 2. And then we're putting steel studs on all the exterior walls. It'll be spray foamed and sheetrocked.
Okay.
And then reworking all the stairways to current codes.
And that's phase 1,
That's phase 1.
which leads us into phase 2.
Correct. So I would call it maybe a little bit of a gamble when we started phase 1, because we didn't know if we had the funds locked in for phase 2. But the legislature is very good to us.
Oh, good. Awesome.
So I don't think there will be much of an interruption. I think we're going to be able to cruise right into phase 2.
Okay. And that includes what?
Everything.
Everything else, right?
Yes, we want to be open for business by fall of 24.
Wow. Okay.
So it's going to be a tight timeline if we can get that done. But currently right now we've got, they're working on our bid documents, and we're going to get that out. And then once we start getting the bids in, hopefully we can just roll right into phase 2.
And hopefully, again, within the next year and a half.
Absolutely.
Within the next year, even.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, if you can get her done, right?
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
So like what parts of the original building are we still going to have with us?
Well, the exterior is going to look pretty much the same.
Okay.
We're doing some retuck pointing on some of the bricks and some exterior repairs, but nothing major on the outside.
Okay.
New windows.
Sure.
But we do want to highlight a lot of the historic stuff. So I know as of right now we're saving all the wood flooring. The building had a really cool metal ceiling tiles throughout. It had, railings and trims that's like 14 inches wide,
Right.
like the old. So we're for sure going to highlight that throughout the building. On the main floor, there's going to be a beautiful lobby, and we're hoping to
Okay.
utilize a lot of those things, and kind of a throwback area.
So your family enjoyed Dakota College of Botany, Old Main, things like that. How exciting? Because I know a lot of local people have gone there as well, and some of the old timers, all that stuff. Is it exciting for them? I mean, do you talk to a lot of people about this project?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big community following
Okay.
on Save Old Main, and there was some stuff done years ago that saved the building. Before I was here, and call out to Al Wondrosik. He's been wonderful, and he likes to come in and we take pictures once in a while, and he sends it out. He's probably our best PR guy we have.
Sure. He's wonderful.
Yes.
He's wonderful at that. So there is a lot of excitement within the community itself
Absolutely.
and people
Yep.
that you talk to.
And not only that, but the fact that once we get this done, it's going to bring, I've heard estimates of 30 plus more full-time students to our campus.
Awesome. That's great. And,
Yes.
And these are record-setting years already for enrollment.
Correct.
So that's great to get even more involved.
Yeah, and it's so needed.
Yeah, exactly,
nursing.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest professions to get into right now. So local businesses, I always hear people say shop local, buy local. You're kind of keeping it local, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, we put out on phase one, we put out bids of all the different things, and we've got Linus is doing most of the masonry work and the tuck pointing we talked
Yeah.
about. Chris Bristol, the electrician, is doing
Yep.
all the electrical, and Mickelson's, of course, is doing all the digging and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, we really want to hire locally, and hopefully phase two will get lots of local.
No, that's perfect because again, as we've said, shopping local, buying local. That's an important part
Absolutely.
of keeping things here. So, a lot of excitement, a lot of support from the community as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to talk about too, just quickly. We found a lot of cool stuff when we were doing some demo.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to maybe showcase some of that when we get reopened. But we found a pair of old wool pants from 1906, 1907 that was in a wall
Okay.
with the wood buttons, and probably a story behind that.
Yes, maybe someday we'll find out.
But yeah, I mean, there's gloves and old newspaper, candy wrappers, so we've saved all that.
Oh wow.
It's just amazing what you find when you start looking in walls and things like that.
110 to 120 plus years old.
Unbelievable.
Stuff like that. Wow,
Yeah.
that is great.
Yeah.
Chris, anything else you'd like to talk about with the Old Main renovation project?
Well, not really. It's just really exciting for me personally. And also when I went to college at Botno, I managed the bookstore that was in the basement of Old
Okay.
Main. So I've always loved that building.
A lot of memories for you.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, the family went there, and I suppose you guys could sit around talking for hours
Yep.
about adventures and things that you remember about that.
So
place.
many great memories in there.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much, and I hope to get you back soon. All right.
Okay, appreciate it.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Shane.
You bet. No problem at all.